August was a horrible reading month for me, and I don't know what to tell y'all. What's up, y'all? It's Alika, aka Alika's Bookish Behavior, and I am going to share my reading wrap up with you guys along with my TBR for September. Now, this month I read 11 books, which isn't my typical, but August was Augusting, and so we did what we could. So let's go down the list. I've got my story graph pulled up here, and I'm gonna tell you everything I read, and then I'm gonna go back and we're gonna talk about my favorites, my least favorites, and then of course we're gonna put September's TBR in here. So the 11 books: Last First Kiss by Nicole Falls, Sinful Enforcer by Asia Monique, Someone Seeking Someone Else by Nicole Falls, Going Down Smooth, Drea Wells, No Longer Afraid by Christina C. Jones, Raised by Wolves by Christina C. Jones, Demon's Dream by Elle Kaysen, Friend You Can Keep by M. Monique, Air of Flames, Book 1 of the Cartel Elements by Asia Monet, Run From Me by Aubrey Penn, Homecoming Season by Aubrey Penn. So yeah, that's what I read. Nicole Falls, Asia Monet, and M. Monique, along with Elle Kaysen, were new to me authors. Like, I hadn't read any of their works before, and so this was my first time reading. Now, the Nicole Falls books I did on audio as I was driving around for work, and they were good. And I think one of my things this month was because I read a lot more of the urban romance, even with The Predators by Christina C. Jones, I was looking for a lot more action, a lot more pickup this month, which I was trying to get away from, because if you follow me on TikTok, I said this month I was going back to rom-coms and fairy tales. It didn't work. I tried, it didn't work. So yeah, Going Down Smooth was the first Omegaverse I ever read. I really enjoyed it. Would I have read it if I knew it was a duology and part 2 wasn't out? Probably not yet. So there's that. But I am super excited because part 2 comes out in September, and so I can add that to my September TBR. Now, y'all know I love Aubrey Penn down. Homecoming Season, I really, really, really enjoyed because I think I like college romances. Well, yeah, it's on a college campus. I'll count it as a college romance. So yeah, there's that. Air of Flames was Asia Monet's debut book, and I enjoyed it. I felt like there was a lot of back and forth that we could have done without, but I did enjoy the book because it's a mafia book, and I like the mafia series. I like mafia books. Sinful Enforcer by Asia Monique. That is the 6th book in her Mafia Misfit series, and I think it ties Sinful Vow for me. I loved Rocco. I loved that he opened up and softened for Gia. I loved their relationship. It was just a really beautiful book. It was done really well. If you want to get into Mafia and aren't really sure where to start, I suggest starting with Asia Monique. So now we're going to go into my September TBR. All right, so let's get into my physical TBR, because what you won't catch me with is one for my Kindle, because there's never any telling what I'm going to read on that thing. It's just a magical place with all the things. All right, so first up is Plus One by Tannen. This is a polyromance, and it is also the only series of hers that I have not read. So, of course, we got to start with book 1. Next up, it wouldn't be me if I didn't sprinkle a little Aubrey Penn in my TBR. So we got Everything Is Love. This is one of her earlier novels, so I'm super excited to see this one and what it is. Next, we have To Be Loved and Beneath the Silence. Both of these are in Kayla Shawn's Things Unseen series. I read the first one, but I have to read these two. And then we have Queen Move by Kennedy Ryan. I am obsessed with the Kingmaker series. It is my favorite series by Kennedy Ryan. Don't count Longshot in that because Longshot is in a class all of its own. But favorite series by Kennedy Ryan, and one of my friends is currently reading it now. And so once she gets through Kingmaker and Rebel King, then the plan is for us to read Queen Move together. that same friend started the Lucy Score series, and Things We Left Behind comes out this month, and so we will read that together, which, you know, it's not typically what I read, but we diverse around here, so yeah. And then, of course, I will be reading Going Down Smooth Part 2 once that drops on September 15th. So yeah, when the end of September comes, if I have not read all of these in my wrap up, mind your business, because we're friends, and friends don't judge other friends for not finishing their TBRs.